What is going on, baseball fans? It's Tino back with another New York Mets video. Welcome back to WHADDYA SHEA, the exclusive channel for all things New York Mets. And Mets fans, we got some good news today. We didn't sign the big fish we were hoping for. I thought Trevor Bauer would be signed by now as well, but we did add a right-handed pitcher that'll help this team and bolster this rotation and potentially the bullpen by adding some depth here and some young depth at that. So the Mets decided to trade in division here with the Miami Marlins and add a 24-year-old right-handed arm in Jordan Yamamoto, a 2-year season, well, more year and a half seasoned pitcher in the major league level now. He didn't get a full season last year, struggled with an injury, pitched really well in his rookie year in 2019, and the Mets will only give away here, it's a one-for-one deal. They're giving away a 19-year-old prospect in Federico Polanco. He is a shortstop prospect that has not made the single-A roster yet. He is out of the Mets Dominican Summer League. Again, had some room to get to single-A this season, but obviously won't be doing that with the Mets. And in return, the Mets are going to get someone with major upside in Yamamoto. I do believe, though, Polanco is a prospect that we won't necessarily forget about, but isn't someone that's going to burn us later on. Obviously, we gave up some shortstop prospects in the Lindor trade, but we now have our franchise shortstop for years to come in Lindor, so you shouldn't really worry about too much of the depth at that position. But we had already gave up Rosario Jimenez, another shortstop prospect goes, but that's all right because we have our guy. Who did we gain now in Yamamoto? A really good arm. So he came over in the Christian Yelich trade to the Marlins. He was the only pitching prospect in that trade. He was outside of the Brewers' top 10, away from the Brinsons and the Isan Diaz's of the world, and those are the people that were talked about and highlighted in that deal. But Yamamoto was the one to burst onto the scene. Brinson had a really good season with the Marlins in 19 as well, or I believe 18, but Yamamoto took over in 2019 and became a guy that, in his shortened amount of time with the team, looked like someone who might take over as the ace of that roster. I mean, pitched really well in his sparing outings. Now, his numbers aren't going to jump off the page at you, but he has really good stuff coming through the minor leagues. 3 teams through 2018, a 1.83. His 1 year in Jacksonville, Double-A, 3-5 record, 3.58 ERA. But really, his strikeout stuff is nasty. So in 2019, you're going to see he went 4-5 with a whatever 4.46 ERA in 15 games started. But his K per 9 in almost a full season there, or at least half a season, was a 9.4 K per 9, which is solid stuff in a rotation, mind you, that already has strong strikeout numbers. Now, he did transfer those numbers into 2020 in terms of the K per 9. He had a 10.3 K per 9, but he struggled to keep the ball in the park, almost gave up a home run per inning pitch. You're looking at 8 home runs given up in just 11 innings pitched. Now, to say that Jordan struggled last year would be a significant understatement. I mean, he was just not the same pitcher he was in 2019, but I do believe a lot of that could be attributed to his season-ending forearm injury that landed him on the IL and ultimately saw his fastball lose about 2 miles per hour on it. So there will be work to be done with Yamamoto, but he is a raw prospect at 24 years old that has seen major league time and could pitch at this level and just kind of needs the right direction to do so. And for me, this is a no harm, no foul pitching depth move that the Mets desperately needed, especially after trading Steven Matz. And now, where does this leave us? Well, I think the Mets are in a similar spot than when they had Matz, but instead of having 3 lefties battling for the 4 and 5 spot, you now bring in Yamamoto, who we're now playing with house money. It really is no harm, no foul. If he can work into that 5 spot, we do have versatility with Lucchesi. He wasn't great out of the pen, but we are in need of another left-handed arm out there. Maybe he slides back into the bullpen, and Yamamoto takes over in that 5th spot. Or we have endless possibilities here. Maybe Yamamoto's way to getting back and rehabbing is through the pen, and we added another arm that way. I do think, though, Yamamoto is better suited as a starter, and we should play with Lucchesi, who's already touched in the bullpen. But again, this adds depth, and this adds pitching help, young pitching help at that I do think the Mets really needed. And so I like this move. I think they win this trade. They barely gave anything up. It's a player for a player, especially when it comes to someone who's not going to sniff the roster for years to come, for someone who will this season as long as injuries suit him right. So a good win for us today. Wasn't the Bauer signing we were hoping for, but we do add an arm and we do add some depth to this pitching rotation. But that's it for this video, guys. Very short and sweet today. Nothing crazy to talk about, but we will have more to come based on the news that comes out about the Mets. But this is somewhat positive, and let me know what you guys think. Where you think Yamamoto fits into this rotation, how you think the Mets are going to use him, and what other moves do you see the Mets doing in the weeks to come. Be sure to thumbs up, comment below. Let me know everything you guys have going on in terms of the Mets and the news that you're following and ideas that you have. Please subscribe if you have not subbed already. Turn those notifications all the way on. And most importantly, guys, let's go Mets. Talk to you soon. Thank you guys for watching.